He-Man has the power to divide a fanbase right in half. After watching the trailer for Masters of the Universe, a lot of fans are saying the same things. One aspect of the Masters of the Universe trailer that fans immediately latched onto is that it feels sort of like a Marvel movie.
Sir, you can't do that.
Don't worry, the sword's mine.
Between the crowd-pleasing action, heavy-handed charm, and self-aware humor, you can't help but think of films like Thor Ragnarok and the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. But is that a good thing or a bad thing? That's where people are divided. One person wrote on X, "Looks like a superhero movie you've seen with a DLC pack Masters of the Universe skin over top of it." Some people even pointed out some similarities between individual shots that feel like they're being recycled for Masters of the Universe. It's the kind of thing that makes people say stuff like, "These big Hollywood movies have become so boring. A house formula and style that moves from one to the next." But not everybody's so jaded. After all, what are we talking about here? A big fantasy romp based on a cheesy cartoon is supposed to be an over-the-top crowd pleaser. Just because some Marvel movies did it first doesn't mean it's not a good fit for Masters of the Universe. As one person wrote, "When Thor Ragnarok came out, I said that it was proof that a Masters of the Universe movie could work today." The Masters of the Universe trailer reveals that Adam, He-Man's alter ego to hide his identity, was raised on Earth after his mother sent him there to keep him safe. Not only that, but he's been stuck working a desk job in HR. It's during these shots of Adam at work that we see an image of his name placard on his desk, which reads Adam Glenn, followed by he/him. The vast majority of people took this as a fun little joke. Obviously, He-Man would be a he/him. It's two different ways of saying the same thing. However, some were quick to pounce on what they saw as wokeness striking again. One internet personality wrote on X, "Now they're making a Masters of the Universe and giving He-Man pronouns. These people won't stop until they ruin everything." However, such voices seem to be in the minority. Most saw the shot for what it most likely was, a quick gag utilizing wordplay. Though the Masters of the Universe trailer was the first time that we saw how a lot of the characters were actually going to look in the movie, the list of confirmed characters had been previously revealed. And that list was noticeably missing Orko, a fan-favorite character of the original He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon. Orko has come back for each of the subsequent animated series, and has also appeared in the comics and various other Masters of the Universe media. As he should, this guy has style. Fans had hoped that the Masters of the Universe trailer was going to include the surprise reveal of Orko, especially after two previously announced villains, Spycore and Beastman, ended up popping up. Well, no dice on that one. There was no sign of Orko, and he continues to not be mentioned in any of the official press information for the film. The top comment on one of the teaser's Reddit discussion threads was a simple question, in all caps, "Where is Orko?" That same question was asked with an equal level of passion all over X, under just about every post that shared the trailer. Let's talk real quick about Tron Ares, a stupendous flop that cost Disney over $100 million. It was just the latest in a string of high-profile commercial disappointments for Jared Leto, who doesn't seem to be the box office draw that Hollywood has seemed so keen to make him over the last decade or so. Add some recent allegations, and, well, let's just say that when his name is included in the cast list for an upcoming movie, the overwhelming responses are,
"And what have we here?"
It doesn't exactly bode well for Masters of the Universe, seeing as how Leto is playing Skeletor. And Leto's involvement in the movie has been a frequent point of contention in discussions of the trailer thus far, even among those who were otherwise impressed with how the character looks in the movie. One X-user echoed a lot of people's feelings when they posted, "It looks fun until you realize Jared Leto is playing Skeletor." There are definitely some misgivings about the casting, but in the end, a lot will come down to how Leto's Skeletor actually talks and sounds, and whether he insults enough people.
Skeletor to King Randor! Come in, you royal boob!
Up to this point, Nicholas Galitzine has been known entirely for musicals, comedies, and romantic dramas, and those skills translated just fine to the parts of the trailer where he was mild-mannered Adam Glenn. But can he pull off the muscle-bound He-Man? According to a lot of reactions, he'll do just fine. Nicholas Galitzine heard all the critics say he wasn't right for He-Man and proved every single one of them wrong. That's what one ex-user posted after watching the trailer, and it seems like plenty of fans are in agreement. Sure, there are people who wish had gone for the glistening, juiced-up 80s look that Dolph Lundgren or Arnold Schwarzenegger had going for them back in the day. One person wrote, "Are they going to add CGI muscles to He-Man? I was hoping for Arnold and Conan, or at least Thor buff level for the movie." But when you compare his look to the cartoon series, it's not far off. At least it's good enough for a lot of people. One element that everyone's agreeing on is that the move to cast Alison Brie as Evil-Lyn was streets ahead. Between Community, Glow, and well, pretty much all her projects, Brie has had a huge fanbase who know that she has the acting skills to pull off the role perfectly.
What the hell, Annie?
That, plus a physical resemblance to the classic He-Man villain, had fans thrilled when it was announced Brie would be playing Evil-Lyn in Masters of the Universe. The shots of Brie in the trailer go by extremely quickly, and it takes some very careful pausing to get a good look at the actor as Evil-Lyn. But it was enough to confirm that everyone was right to be excited that Brie is playing the character. One person spoke for a large chunk of fans when they wrote, "I'm just here for Alison Brie as Evil-Lyn." There's one particular glimmer of hope that has fans optimistic regardless of how the trailer looks: Travis Knight. If you don't know the name, Travis Knight makes good movies. He's one of the founders of Leica Studios, the stop-motion animation outfit behind movies like Coraline, Paranorman, and Kubo and the Two Strings. Knight also directed Bumblebee, which, if you go by Rotten Tomatoes and the word of a lot of fans, is the best Transformers movie of the bunch. So, right off the bat, you know Knight has a finesse to adapt a movie based on toys that became cartoons that became massive multimedia properties. Plenty of people believe that Knight is just the He-Man for the job. One person said, "Don't know how it's going to do in the box office, but Travis Knight is a special talent and he'll carry this movie to a RT of at least 80%. In response to that comment, another person wrote, "Wait, Travis Knight is a director? Well, In other words, regardless of whatever other criticisms folks have about the movie, people are genuinely sure that it's in good hands. An initial concern with all the Earth/real-world stuff shown at the beginning of the Masters of the Universe trailer was that it was going to copy the 1987 movie, which had He-Man travel to Earth and spend the bulk of his time there. Having He-Man hang out in warehouses instead of Eternia saved a lot of the special effects, not to mention giving the writers a few layups for fish-out-of-water humor.
I wonder why they put the food on these little white sticks.
From the trailer, it's not entirely clear how the movie's going to split its settings, and you'll find a lot of jokes about how all the Eternia stuff got pulled from the last 10 minutes of the movie because the rest of it's going to center on the quirky hijinks of He-Him on Earth. But one complaint you won't find is that for what we do see of Eternia, it looks like the movie was given the proper budget for the set designers and effects teams to build an impressive-looking fantasy realm. As one person said, "They got the look right, it looks cartoon accurate, but scaled into a movie." Empire Online broke down the trailer and spent a lot of time praising the elaborate world building that's got into creating Knight's vision of He-Man's home planet, Eternia. And despite the divisive casting choice of Leto, the look of Skeletor still received glowing praise. Clearly, they're putting their budget to good use in regards to the special effects. He-Man's always been around in some form or another, most recently via a couple animated Netflix shows. That is to say, there are fans of all ages, but from the looks of things, the fans who were there for the original cartoon seem to be the ones who are geeking out over the new Masters of the Universe trailer the most. As someone who grew up on He-Man, I actually loved it. I'm an 80s kid and I'm totally losing my mind over the Masters of the Universe trailer. Those are just a few of the reactions, but there are hundreds just like them. The initial teaser for the trailer leaned heavily on 80s nostalgia with the imagery to really make it clear who the target audience is. And on that note, many of the outlets that covered the trailer zeroed in on that. From Space.com's By the Power of Nostalgia to Yahoo proclaiming that the trailer looks like a nostalgic romp. The messaging here is clear. If you think Masters of the Universe looks bad, get off our lawn, you kids! The original 1987 Masters of the Universe movie has its fans, sure. Was it good? Well, let's just say it was lambasted by critics and fell flat on its face at the box office. In the years since, the movie has developed a minor cult following, though mostly on a purely campy, so bad it's good type of level. That and the delightful performance of Frank Langella as Skeletor, the only actor in the movie who seemed to actually realize the kind of movie they were making.
I dare anything! I am Skeletor!
All that to say that the new Masters of the Universe really has nowhere to go but up by comparison. All the trailer had to do was not be a complete embarrassment to give fans hope that it would end up being the better He-Man movie. Fortunately, it seems like that's going to happen. It'll certainly be nice for fans of the character and franchise to have a movie that they might be able to love genuinely rather than ironically.
Good luck.
Thanks. I have a feeling we're gonna need it.
At the end of the day, this is the first live-action anything for He-Man since 1987. A lot of people in this world hadn't been born when the last movie came out. A lot of people's parents hadn't been born. The fact that it's being made at all is cause enough for cautious optimism. We mean, sure, it's not some high form of art. It's a movie based on a series of 20-minute commercials for averagely made toys from the 80s. But so what?